This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by DAZN's Joe Markowski. Joe, another successful night tonight?
Yeah, great night. What a great fight. Great atmosphere. Small crowd, obviously limits in Vegas, but the crowd that were here made a hell of a lot of noise, and it was great. Great atmosphere. Fight lived up to its billing, so we're very happy with it.
Jorge Linares is what many consider to be the first legitimate name, shall we say, on Devin Haney's record. What did you make of his performance against Jorge? A few hairy moments at the end.
He started slowly. Devin started really strong, and he came back into the fight Jorge later on. So it was entertaining throughout. Jorge boxed very well, as did Devin, but we're obviously long term. I think Devin's got a huge future on DAZN, and we're very happy to see him march on, as you say, come through his first real test, and the lightweight division's on fire. So there's so many big fights for him out there, and after the heavyweights, I think that's obviously the Canelo, everything around Canelo, but the lightweights are on fire. It's a really interesting division, one that we're very happy to be a major part of.
Is Devin Haney the potential superstar now on the back of this that everybody's been speaking about? Can he be the one to rise and to rule across that lightweight division?
I think so, because he's got the various ingredients that you need to do that right. One, he's got the talent, he's got the charisma and the personality. He's got that sort of aura around him, and also, most importantly, he's got the fights there, to give him that platform to go and prove that he's a great. So we're very excited about the next 2 or 3 years hold for Devin. Big test tonight's come through it, gritty fight, tough test, and as you say, there's lots more to come with Devin in the next few years.
Spoke to Eddie earlier this week, and Eddie said that the plan is to make a big offer for Teofimo Lopez as soon as this one was out of the way, provided Devin was successful. Are you backing that? Is that what you'd like to see next?
That's a question for Eddie, right? He'll go away and come back to us with options, and we're supportive of making the biggest fights we can for all our fighters. Devin is no exception to that. He's clearly ready and wants the big fights. Tonight was what he called for. He got it. So we're excited about the options that come back. From Eddie and Frank for options for Devin and the rest of the division.
Joe, just a couple of things away from this card I want to talk to you about. Firstly, last week we saw Deontay Wilder successful in his arbitration case, meaning AJ Fury for the undisputed titles were no longer going. Just what's your thoughts on the entire situation, on how it all unfolded last week?
As a fan, I'm just disappointed, right? It looked like it was ready to go. We were ready to go with it in our part in the sort of fight as a whole. Disappointed, but look, it's sort of out of our hands. We'll see how it plays out. As Eddie said tonight on broadcast, we're, from a DAZN perspective, focused on looking after AJ, getting him in his next fight against Usyk, it looks like. So unfortunately, that's what we have to focus on. I think all of us at DAZN were and remain very excited about the prospect of an undisputed clash. It's probably going to happen later than we expected it to now. So I think I just share the emotions of fans. It's just disappointing, and we were pretty surprised by it all, as were most people in the industry. So disappointed. Hope we can do it quickly. It's been kicked back a few months, but as and when it happens, it will still be absolutely massive.
Joe, the other thing being the potential DAZN and Matchroom link up in the UK if Matchroom decide to leave Sky when their deal runs out. Eddie's very coy about it. Can you fill us in any more? Will it be DAZN and Matchroom in the UK?
We're focused on the US relationship right now. We've got a few things going on with Matchroom in other markets, in Spain, in Italy, but our primary relationships here in the US. The business is in a really healthy position. Canelo, you were there. You've been here for weeks and weeks now. You saw the quality of that event. Our business is in a healthy position coming out of COVID. We've used the pandemic well with Matchroom in particular to sort of stabilise and grow our boxing business. It's in the healthiest position it's ever been in, and that's what we're focused on. We're not focused on anything else right now, and what happens down the line, but right now we're focused on our existing relationship with Eddie and Matchroom more generally.
Joe, press conference earlier this week, Eddie said he knows you don't like to talk about numbers and figures and subscribers. Is that going to change tonight?
Hasn't changed yet, no. We don't talk about that publicly. What I would say is obviously COVID rocked the sports industry heavily, and there's been casualties of that. It's been really hard 18 months. We as a business generally, our business generally has looked after itself very well, and we're now growing again. Our boxing business is no exception to that. The schedule's fantastic. You've been in the States for 3 months now on the back of mostly our events that we're putting on that justifies you being over here, and the numbers reflect that. The Canelo event was huge for us on both sides of the pond. Massive audience at whatever hour of the morning it was, 4:30, 5 a.m. A huge new subscriber number, which we don't talk about, as you know, but in the US too. So we're really happy with where our business is, and as I say, that gives us opportunity to go and make bigger fights and build out that schedule even further. So that is what we're focused on.
Well, Joe, leave that there now. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of this night. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
See you very soon.